SHINKU is officially landing as the premier. S-Class Cosmos mein DPS from the Containment Strike Unit 2 faction alongside Mink and Roy if you want to maximize her potential right out of the gate. The meta has already figured out her absolute best builds and teams. Her core playstyle revolves around a highly aggressive martial arts kit. In her normal state, she generates a resource called Defiant Spirit. Once this is fully stacked, she triggers her ultimate to activate her enhanced transformation, known as Surging Crimson. During this state, her skills undergo massive upgrades, allowing her to chain repeated ultimate casts before finishing off with a devastating nuke called Dragon Flame of Execution. The most important mechanic to master is Intimidating Gaze, which accumulates stacks up to a limit of 8. When she stands still, on the field without executing actions, or when you pull off a perfect dodge, when you finally unleash a strike, all these stacks detonate for an incredible burst of bonus damage, making her a carry that rewards patience and precise timing over mindless button mashing. For her equipment setup, Through the Crimson Mirage stands as her undisputed signature weapon, providing massive base attack, high crit rate, and a post-ultimate Cosmos damage buff that strips enemy defense. If you are a free-to-play player, your go-to budget alternative is A Time Will Come, a 4-star option that gives free attack, HP, and defense as long as your party includes 3 distinct Esper types. For her armor, the optimal choice is the Lost Radiance gear set due to its Cosmos. Damage and post-ultimate defense ignore stacks. When prioritizing stats, keep in mind that her console passive scales directly with crit damage, meaning you should secure a consistent crit rate first. Then heavily invest in crit damage, Cosmos damage, and attack percentage. For upgrading her skills, focus entirely on her ultimate path first to maximize the power of her Surging Crimson state, followed by her enhanced skill for her primary burst tool, while leaving her basic attack and support skill for last. If you are aiming for duplicates, her A3 and A6 awakenings represent her absolute highest damage spikes, though she is entirely complete and functional at A0. When executing her combat rotation, start in her standard state by utilizing basic attacks and weaving in high-altitude aerial dive attacks to rapidly generate Defiant Spirit. Once your gauge is completely full, pop her ultimate to shift into Surging Crimson, unload your repeated Crimson Execution ultimate attacks, and then trigger the ultimate one final time to unleash Dragon Flame of Execution. To get the absolute most out of this loop, remember to actively incorporate perfect dodges to bank intimidating, gaze stacks for massive multipliers. If you plan on pulling her, you need to begin your pre-farm immediately. Her core Ascension item is the Charging Knight Spark Plug, which is dropped exclusively by the Headless Rider boss, found on Sunward Island after unlocking the Anomaly Commission at Unheard Shores. Because this boss farm is strictly claim limited, you cannot accumulate everything in a single day once her banner goes live. Additionally, you will need to track down her Whisper materials, including Lost, Obscure, and Paradoxical by farming empty shells, Rain-Sweeping Maids, and Whisper Spawns. For her talent books, clear the Watch Out for Pigeons farm to gather Nestling's Lodging, Dove's Flutter, and the Olive Branch, while making sure to hoard a healthy supply of beetle coins and elite hunter guides. When constructing her ideal team compositions, she relies heavily on element and role synergies to activate the charge reaction, which refunds her ultimate energy for faster rotations. Her premier high-end team features SHINKU paired with Hatter, Zero, and Guan. In this setup, Hatter applies Lakshana and Remora while buffing your crit rate against marked targets. Zero provides lightning-fast energy regeneration, and Guan offers my grouping and Blossom setup to ensure your aerial attacks land perfectly. If you lack Hatter, Skia serves as an excellent replacement because her Shadow hits immobilized targets for clean combos. For a dual carry setup, you can swap out your Gatherer for Nanily to alternate field time between both damage dealers. For an accessible free-to-play variation, a team of SHINKU, Skia, Zero, and Mint works incredibly well to buff the Blossom area and clear content easily. Looking ahead to the second half of the patch, Roy will debut as her premium anima partner to provide top-tier healing and buffs, creating the ultimate endgame core of SHINKU, Hathor, Zero, or Roy, and Guan. SHINKU represents a massive high-ceiling addition to the roster, and preparing her teams and materials now will ensure you are completely ready to dominate the battlefield.